Pearson Rabbit's story begins with Dr. Stephanie Pearson, a passionate OB/GYN at the height of her career. But when a shoulder injury struck during a precipitous delivery, her dreams were shattered, leaving her unable to practice medicine. Determined to make a difference, Stephanie became an advocate for her peers, guiding them through the complex disability process. Alongside insurance expert Scott Ravitz, Stephanie founded Pearson Ravitz, a company determined to approach insurance differently. Together, they set their mission to educate and empower physicians to protect their most valuable asset, their income, and the most important people in their life, their family.
Today, Pearson Ravitz serves the medical community in all 50 states. At Pearson Ravitz, they understand the unique concerns of physicians. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Ravitz builds human connections before they create quotes. Life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness or injury could leave you and your family in a devastating financial situation. But with a little planning and guidance, you can prepare for every possibility. Visit PearsonRavitz.com today to schedule your consultation with the Pearson Ravitz advisor.
Finally, a source of raw, real, and honest information on healthcare issues that matter most. Welcome to BS Free MD. From the latest medical information to how to stay sane as a doctor or a patient, no subject is taboo, no BS is allowed. Now, let's welcome your hosts, Doctors May and Tim Hindmarsh.
All right, welcome back to Truth Bomb, where we talk a little bit more about sort of concepts, philosophy, things that we believe. So there's a lot of stuff out there in the internets and the World Wide Webs about success and all this business of live your best life, be successful. The thing that's really interesting is if you actually read biographies of people that have done amazing things, the number one thing that comes out again and again is not that they worked hard, is not that they got lucky, is not that they had the most unbelievable set of skills. It's that they never gave up. And that's the truth. All those other things are true. You do have to work hard. You do at times, have to be lucky. You do have to be at the right place at the right time. But the key is in implementation, even though the greatest idea in the world is not stopping. I love what Winston Churchill says about this. Success is going from failure to failure and remaining enthusiastic with every failure. That is very difficult. Or another way he said it was, if you're going through hell, keep going. Which is amazing because there's that one of his other speeches, which was it was like that: never give up, never, ever, ever give up. So he's awesome. Although my favorite Churchill quote is this woman came up to him at a party. They're all aristocrats because they were all royalty, and they said, she's like, Mr. Churchill, you are drunk. He's like, yes, madame, but you are ugly, and tomorrow I shall be sober. So I take Winnie's advice very seriously. If you're going through hell, keep going. It really, it's amazing because we hear these stories. You take, for instance, Thomas Edison. How many times did it take before he had a consistent light bulb? See, here's the thing. Edison was not the first guy to use electricity to make light. He was the first guy to use electricity to make light that was commercially successful. How many attempts before he had a light bulb that he could sell?
You're asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
For those of you who didn't know I was here and have been silently sitting by listening to Tim.
Yeah, of course. You're used to it by now.
I don't know, 50 times.
2,774 times.
Wow.
So, and that's always the thing that I find really challenging in the whole perseverance world, because you can be persevering in the wrong direction, in which case you're getting further from your goal. So there is a time to quit or to shift or to change gears and change goals. But
that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about persevering. And sometimes, yes, you could be going in the wrong direction, but sometimes you find some pretty awesome stuff going in the wrong direction that opens new doors and discoveries. So really, the thing we're talking about more is the importance of, which this was the wording last time when we talked about attitude, was a growth mindset. It really is about persevering and not giving up. and continuing and pushing through the hard stuff and overcoming obstacles and keep on, or just do it like Nike says, or going when the going gets tough, or when things really suck. You don't want to keep doing whatever it may be. It's painful, but you keep hanging in there. I get the image of like almost a rat on a wheel, just continuing, because it's so easy. And I think the society's made it so easy to pull the plug and give up. I think of relationships where it's easy to just, say this isn't working for me and be out, and people give up on relationships quick, or this job's not working, it's making me ticked off, I'll pull the plug, and not realizing that there's crap wherever you're at, and you have to work through sometimes the tough stuff. And it's the same with physical fitness goals. I'm struggling with that right now. Man, I'm like at an all-time low in my fitness life. Last year, I was probably in the best shape I have been in the last 15 years, thanks to some awesome trainers and working through some struggles, the things you don't like to do. And this year, with my recent surgeries, I am starting all over. And, I know people have had it worse than me, but I really am humbled. Like today, I was able to lift 2 5-pound dumbbells for the first time in 8 months. And that was really humbling. But I changed my attitude and went, you know what? I get to lift weights now. I'm starting over again. It stinks. I'm overcoming again. Yeah, it's not fun, but in order to get back to where I was before, I got some hard work to do. And anything great in life takes a ton of work and working through the hard stuff. And we're here to try to encourage you to persevere.
Well, and I think that's a really good point that you bring up. Failure is your friend. And a big part of perseverance is not doing the same stupid thing that didn't work over and over again. That's insanity. That's what Einstein says. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. And so this idea that you're just going to persevere, even though what you're doing isn't working. No, you fail, you learn from your failure. And the heart of perseverance is then you alter what you're doing and you try something different. And if that doesn't work, you learn from that. And each time you're failing forward, that's the definition of perseverance.
Well, I would argue a little bit with you and say that it can go either way. It can be in a positive experience and a negative experience, right? Where you're failing, and so you fail forward and persevere and try something new. Or even when you're in the right direction, it can be exhausting and fatiguing. And I just think of, I just watched, Wimbledon, and I think of these athletes who work out all the time, or you watch professional football players or any athletic sports, and, it looks all glory and rosy to work out and play sports as an athlete, but man, there's athletic struggles, so they might be still making advances and it's positive, but there's times where they just don't want to do it. There are times where it's like, I've had enough. I'm successful, yet I'm tired of it. And even in those moments, you still persevere, right? So you can be going in a positive direction, but wanting to quit because you're tired, or a negative.
I think a big piece to the puzzle is you trust the system, and I've been talking a lot about this in various podcasts, that things work until they don't. So you have to get a plan, stay with the plan, go with the plan till it doesn't work, then modify the plan, and then keep trusting the plan. I noticed when we had trainers last year, it was wild because I'm like, man, I'm frustrated. My body's changing, but I'm not losing weight or whatever the case may be. And it was like, no, you're doing the right thing. You just have to keep doing it. And that's really difficult. The other thing that's really difficult for people in this regard is they did something before and it worked, and it doesn't work now.
True.
Like I used to be able to eat whatever I wanted because I was running 35 miles a week. That doesn't work now because I can't do that. So part of that perseverance in staying fit is completely altering my physical routine, but maintaining the principles that keep you going, which is the principles of ritual, the principles of, I want to be able to, do the sports that I like. Therefore, I have to do other things that I may not like as much, but I have to do them routinely. I don't want to get fired from work, so I take showers.
Well, I'm just going to, kind of finalize this by saying that anybody that's successful has moments where it's no fun and they struggle. And if you want anything in life that's worthy, any big accomplishments, you have to hang in there when the going gets tough. And sometimes when you feel like quitting and it's just easier to quit, hanging in there and persevering and pushing through the pain. And what's your saying, Tim?
What pain is just weakness leaving your body?
No, but just using that pain to motivate you to continue to get stronger teaches you a whole lot. And, anything worthy is going to be a painful experience, but that perseverance really develops growth and character and brings an amazing, wonderful result, usually at the end. Not always.
Well, yeah. The only thing more painful than not persevering and having goals is the exact opposite, and just having nothing. And that is an absolute guaranteed pain. Just like the only guarantee of failure is quitting.
Right. And so, as you said, you like to say, pick your pain, because it's going to be painful to either work through some things and get better, or it's going to be painful to just give up, slide back to your old ways and not achieve anything. So I'm here to encourage everybody, because we've all struggled, whether it's you're starting off in life and it's college sucks and you don't want to study, or you're trying to work through a relationship and man, that counseling just seems like too much work, or fitness goals, anything worthy. It's going to be tough and challenging, but perseverance will bring positive results. Yeah,
I saw a great quote. I don't know if it's true, but I love it, and it is at least inspiring. And it says 90% of people quit when they're 10% away from being successful. So we'll leave you with that one. Until next week.
I love it.
Bombs away.
Bombs away. Now a final word from our sponsor. At Pearson Ravitz, they understand that life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness, injury, or catastrophic event could put you and your family in a devastating financial situation. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Ravitz builds human connections before they create quotes. Visit www.pearsonravitz.com today and embark on a journey of safeguarding your future.
It's no secret that medicine is a bit uptight. That's why Tim and I created BS Free MD, to mix things up a little and have fun in the process. Besides, we are having these exact same discussions all the time, so we thought we might as well invite everyone to the party. If you really like us, you can get plenty more and maybe see one of Tim's cool tattoos on our Instagram or Facebook pages at BS Free MD. See you next time.
Well, we try to keep BS Free MD as raw and real as possible. We can't be held responsible for any medical decisions or discussions had as a result of what you've heard on the show. We know. Bummer. But the truth is, we really do care about your questions. So feel free to reach out to us by email at doc@bsfreemd.com.